The Mystery of the Emerald Necklace. My heart began to race. At that moment, I knew that someone was watching me. I quickly glanced toward the window, relieved that I had shut it earlier. Mom had instilled in me a courage that surpassed all fear, and I quickly sprang into action. I rushed to the window. There was no one. But there had been someone there. I was certain of it. I didn't know what to do. Mom would have known what to do. I could hear her voice saying, "Elena, when you don't know what to do, start from the beginning. Did you overlook something? Are there more clues?" Did I overlook something? Were there more clues? I went back to my desk. I reread the letter, searching for clues. You have been invited to a very special occasion. Wait, invited to a very special occasion. This was a normal phrase used when inviting someone to a celebration, but there was something different about it. Why did those words sound so familiar? And why did I receive this today, the day that I turned 18? Suddenly it came to me. Of course, how could I not have known? Oh, but Mommy, it's a very fancy necklace. Where will I wear it? Perhaps when you're 18, you will be invited to attend a very special occasion. You will wear it then. How could she possibly have known? How could she possibly have known? I jumped up from the chair once again and ran to the window. As I did so, the envelope that had contained the letter fell to the floor. There was an odd sound as it hit the floor. I glanced quickly out of the window and then returned to pick up the envelope. Was there something else? I opened the envelope once again and looked inside. Yes, there was something else, a thumb drive. I don't know how long I held it in my hand as if I knew nothing of its purpose. What effect would the information that it held have upon me? Finally, I took a deep breath and inserted the thumb drive into my laptop. I clicked on the icon and waited. It didn't take long, and I sat stunned beyond belief. There was a beautiful face with pretty emerald eyes staring back at me. I slowly reached out to touch it and burst into tears. And then I sat there quietly, listening to the voice of my mother. She was sitting in a chair. I recognized that chair immediately, along with the entire scene. She had recorded herself in our basement. We used to play detective games down there often. After she died, I never ever went down there again. My cousins who had come to live with me loved to play in the basement. My aunt would encourage me to go down to play, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Aunt Vivian, I remember asking, why didn't I come to live with you? Why did you come here to live with me? Because your mother didn't want to take you from your surroundings. She knew it would be easier on you to stay in your home. I had smiled through my tears. My mom was so wise, always thinking ahead. Mom began to speak. My dear, precious Elena, If you are watching this video, everything is working out according to plan. I have much to say in very little time. Please listen carefully. Everything that I am going to tell you is so very important. You will not be able to keep this message. This thumb drive must be destroyed. Elena, it's very important that you destroy this message. I quickly reached for a pen. She smiled and said, "No, my sweet Elena, you cannot write any of this down. You must remember all of it the way that I've taught you to remember things. Every detail is important." I stared into her emerald eyes and slowly put down the pen. My sweet Elena, what you will now hear will be very disturbing, but you must focus. You must stay focused. "I'm trying, Mom," I sobbed. "I'm trying." Mom took a deep breath. "The time has come for me to tell you about your father and his connection with the emerald necklace." My father! I could hear my heart pounding. When I was very young, before I knew how the body worked, I thought that I never had a father. My mom never wanted to talk about it. And when I got older and realized that yes, I had to have had a father, I could always see a deep pain in her eyes, so eventually I stopped asking. In my imagination, he was always there on our adventures. He too was a fast runner, a swift swimmer, and a strong person able to defend himself. As I was learning Spanish, I loved to say the word papa, so in my dreams I would call him Papa. My mother continued, "I never told you about your father because I needed to keep you safe, to keep us safe. If you had ever tried to investigate in order to try to find him, you would have put all of us in danger, including him." Elena, she paused and just sat there staring at the floor. She looked up. Her eyes seemed to meet mine. "You are from the country Myanmar." She paused long enough for me to fully realize what she had said. What? No! My mind raced. I was very familiar with the country. We had studied it thoroughly together. I knew all about the people, the culture, the food, the islands. I knew everything about the country. I would call it Burma as a child because Myanmar was too difficult to say. The name had later been changed to Myanmar. We were always there in that country on our pretend mystery adventures, and the language they spoke was Burmese. "Yes, Elena," she said softly. "That is why you are fluent in the language. I've spoken it to you your entire life." What did this mean? Did this mean that I really wasn't her daughter? Was she not my mother? Was my father a bad person? Why had she been afraid of me finding him? And how is he connected to my emerald necklace? Mom had said the emerald necklace, but the necklace is mine. Who was I? How could I go on with life? I closed my eyes and lay my head on the desk as she continued. Your father has lived there for most of his life. I went there on vacation one year with some friends, and we met, fell in love, and got married. Okay, so she was my mother, and I her child. I could breathe a bit now. She paused again. Her pause was longer this time. I knew there was more, much more, and it wasn't going to be anything good. I tried to regain my strength. Elena, he's still there. I slowly opened my eyes. Elena, your father is a good man, a very good man, and I love him very much, and he loves you so much. He's done nothing wrong, but he is in a lot of trouble. His life is in danger, and you must go there to save him. I was confused. How could she have still loved him when she hadn't seen him for years? Or had she? And how could she possibly know that his life was in danger? And how could I save him? I slowly lay my head back down. You must go to Myanmar, Elena, to Paradise Island. Do you remember Paradise Island? Yes, of course I remembered Paradise Island. We studied it very thoroughly in our classes together. It was a beautiful island surrounded by waters that shone like green emeralds in the sunlight. I was always excited to study about the island and would call it the Island of the Emerald Waters. It would always remind me of my precious emerald necklace. Mom continued, You must go to Paradise Island, Elena. Don't worry about finding your father. He will find you. Just follow the instructions to the smallest detail. You must only take one bag with you. In that bag, place the shoebox with the shoes containing the necklace and pack very few pieces of clothing. Keep that bag with you at all times. Don't talk to anyone about the necklace or why you are there. If anyone asks you any questions, use your imagination to give an answer. Okay, Mom, I got it. I was talking to her as if she could hear me. No one must know about my emerald necklace, which now I'm guessing is not really mine. I'm also guessing that it was you who tore out those pages in my diary. I sunk deeper and deeper into a dreamlike state. Elena, the necklace must be kept inside the secret place in the shoes. The shoes are made in a special way, and they will keep the necklace from being detected at the airport. It can't be detected at the airport. So I'm also guessing that the necklace is stolen. Could things get any worse? Only the waves of the sea were keeping me sane. Suddenly there was a noise. I jumped up before realizing that it was actually coming from the video. Someone was there. I could see that Mom had heard it too, and although she was trying to remain calm, she was becoming extremely agitated. Her voice became shaky. What exactly was going on? I stared at the screen, waiting for her to say something, but all she said was, Don't worry, Elena. Everything will be fine. I love you, Elena. I love you. And just like that, she was gone again out of my life. Everything stopped. Mom! Mom! Please come back! I screamed at the computer screen. My heart felt like it was breaking to pieces as I realized that I was not only screaming for her to return to the screen, but to return into my life, which I knew was impossible. I could no longer feel the breeze from the sea, nor could I hear the sound of the waves. How could she have planned all of this? Well, it didn't take long for me to find out just how good of a planner she really was.